Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
Things were going just fine for the Indians through 7 innings. A Frankie Lindor home run and zeros from Corey Kluber. And then, bam, a royal explosion in the 8th, capped off by a grand slam from the unlikeliest of candidates. The result, a huge comeback win for KC, and a punch right in the midsection for the Tribe. Will there be any lingering effects today? We'll find out as Danny Salazar tries to vanquish Royal Bats. Next on Sports Time Ohio. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The joint was jumping last night as the Royals rallied from behind to beat the Indians and take the series opener, and it will be packed to the gills once again tonight as the Tribe tries to bounce back and even the series at a game apiece. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Last night's loss for the Indians was certainly, I think, one of the most difficult of the season to swallow. If you're Kansas City, it could be a springboard to things ahead. Rick, does that game last night have any carryover effect into tonight?
Well, it should as far as confidence goes for the Royals. They needed that ball game last night. That was their 30th win at home. But that inning just got out of control. Once Corey Kluber had 7 shutout innings going, he comes in. He had a little cramp in the back of his leg, and it started. In comes Shaw. Shaw should have let that ball go and let his infielders take it. And then another base hit here. So the start, and this starts rolling. He missed with the first 2 pitches in this at-bat where they wanted to give up a bunt or an out. And then all of a sudden he has to come in. He pulls the bat back and hits one into the alley. They tie the game up. It was a great relay throw to get the first out of the inning, but Brian Shaw couldn't end it there, and they just continued to roll in this inning. Manship, came in out of the bullpen, trying to set up. There goes the lead, and then a grand slam. For the first time all year, a Kansas City hitter gets an extra base hit with the bases loaded. And who is it? Gerard Dyson, the smallest guy on the team.
Who hadn't hit a home run all season long, and very rarely hits him to begin with, but he got the biggest hit of the game last night that really enabled Kansas City to walk away with that win. And now the Indians turn to Danny Salazar, who did not pitch well in his final start before the All-Star break, and yet he still leads the American League in earned run average.
Well, he won 6 straight games, and then his last 2 starts he's had no decisions. But he has beaten the Royals twice this year. He had his longest outing against the Royals back in early June. He went 8 innings. He's got to command his fastball, mix in his changeup. He's been falling in love with his changeup. We'll see if he can spot that fastball early, get some easy outs, and hopefully offensively the team can give him some runs. And you look at the run support, he's first in the league, 7.5 runs per ball game, or a little more than that. And his ERA is right there. Get him an early lead, and I think Danny will be just fine in this big ballpark.
That is our Quicken Loans rocket arm, Danny Salazar. And when we come back to Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City, we'll check in with Andre Knott, who will talk with Chris Jimenez, and he'll give us the inside dope on what Danny Salazar needs to do to get back on track here tonight. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. tonight here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Once again, a heat warning in effect till right about game time. Feels like it's in excess of 100 degrees, though the actual mercury will be down in the 90s as we get ready for play here tonight, and the Indians try to get things evened up in this series at a game apiece. Before tonight's ball game, Andre Knott went one-on-one with Tribe catcher Chris Jimenez.
Chris, first of all, we need a ID check. Is this still you?
It is still me. I'm like 25 to 50 years younger now, though. And I can run faster because I don't have all this stuff dragging me down.
All right, speaking of that and speaking of the guy you're catching tonight and catching Danny Salazar, what are the main things you try to work with Danny and getting him consistently in the strike zone?
That's what it is, just consistently being in the strike zone. We had a chance to kind of sit down and watch last night's game on the video and just try to kind of really formulate a game plan. I felt like he, in the past probably 4 or 5 starts, has gotten really, really changeup heavy. And, I mean, it's a great pitch, don't get me wrong, but, you know, using those other pitches really accentuates your changeup and allows it to be the best it can be. And I think, you know, especially with these guys being in our division, they know what he's got. You know, they've seen him a few times now this year, and, you know, just try to create that game plan of what the cat and mouse game is going to be and how to go about it.
How much do you like that cat and mouse game? Because, as you said, they've seen Danny. They know, you know their hitters. How much fun do you have with that?
That's what makes this game fun to begin with, is just, you know, you can't ever go about the same thing twice in this game, especially in this division. You know, with us all being so close, especially in the standings, you know, everybody's within striking distance of each other. You know, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. You know, there's a constant cat and mouse game going on, and it's one of those things that you just got to try to identify it as early as possible and make those in-game adjustments.
All right, you've got the haircut going, but now you know you're going to have to play a little bit more as well. So we joke about that. Anything different? How's your body feel as you go into this stretch where you know you're going to play a little bit more and it's a little bit more hot and humid?
Absolutely. I mean, it really change-wise, nothing really goes into it. This may sound funny for a guy that plays like 40 games a year, but I prepare myself physically and mentally as if I can play 162 games. So that's really, there's nothing really that goes different into that. It's just, you know, trying to get your rest at night, I think, is the biggest thing. Get that recovery going and trying to keep yourself as fresh as possible, because, you know, this is when it starts getting fun for us, especially. You know, we've put ourselves in a pretty good position, and it's just up to us to now go out and kind of finish the deal.
I guess for a fan at home, they watch last night's game. They see how it ends. They see the emotion of it. How do you guys erase it and just get right back at it and say, forget yesterday?
Honestly, you got to laugh it off. That's just the most crucial thing, is to laugh it off. I mean, those games are going to happen. You know, unfortunately, it happened to us last night, and you hope at the end of the year, when it comes down to it, that game like that doesn't come in and bite you in the tail end. But, you know, I think we're all going to learn from it too, especially the pitching staff and the bullpen. And, you know, I know a lot of those guys they don't feel too hot about what happened last night, but like I said, it's going to happen in the year. It's the quicker you can come out and flush it and get after it the next day, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, turn the page right there, and Chris Jimenez will be catching tonight, and Danny Salazar going to be the pitcher. I look, from what he said, I'm going to look for more fastballs, look for Salazar to establish that fastball early, maybe the first time through, and then work everything else in.
We look forward to it. Both pitchers have completed their warm-up tosses, making their way toward their respective dugouts. Well, unfortunately, we have very sad news to report from Baseball Commissioner's office. Suzanne Hilgefort, MLB's Senior Director of Broadcasting Business Affairs, died on Saturday in a small plane crash along with her husband Michael and a close friend. Susanna had worked for the broadcasting department for over 20 years and was instrumental in the launch of the MLB network. To us in the Fox family, Hilgefort played a key role in the league's coordination of our baseball jewel events, the All-Star Game, playoffs, and World Series. Our prayers go out to her family and the families of her husband and friend. All right, the Royals have taken the field, and the last word before the first pitch goes to Andre Knott, who has special news about a party we're all invited to.
Yes, the party that we've all been talking about. I think you've seen these shirts if you've watched our broadcast. The Party at Napoli shirts. They've been a hit, to say the least. So much so that players around Major League Baseball have asked Mike Napoli for the shirts. So now until next Monday, Mike Napoli, since all the money is going to the Cleveland Clinic Kids Center, he will match every dime of the money that the people that buy the shirts, he's going to match until Monday. So go to 108stitchings.com if you want to buy your own shirt and help out with a great cause. As Mike Napoli has the party at Napoli's, but he also wants to help out the kids in Cleveland as well.
That's an awesome, awesome gesture on the part of Mike Napoli. I mean, he's not saying a portion of the proceeds. He's saying, I'm going to match dollar for dollar every sale. Very cool. That's great. So thanks to Mike for all that. And let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Indians. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Rajai Davis in the leadoff spot. Jason Kipnis bats second. Francisco Lindor, who homered last night in his first at bat, will hit third. Then it's Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, and Jose Ramirez. Juan Uribe, Chris Jimenez, and Eric Gonzalez makes the start in right field, batting ninth.
And our Hyundai starting pitcher tonight, Brian Flynn for the Kansas City Royals. He's making his 14th appearance of the year, but his first start, and his first start since August 7th of 2014 when he was a Miami Marlin. That's where they acquired him from. He has made an appearance against the Indians this year, and it came out of the bullpen back at Progressive Field. He went 4 innings and did not allow a run. Let's set the defense behind him tonight, and it looks like this. In the outfield, it's Gordon in left, Dyson in center, Orlando in right, Cuthbert at third, Escobar at short, Merrifield at second, Hosmer is at first, Perez doing the catching.
So we'll see how Brian Flynn fares as the Royals are looking for someone to stabilize the back end of their rotation. That fifth starting spot has been a revolving door all season long.
Yeah, it's been very, very poor for Kansas City. Their record 4-14 with a 7.14 ERA out of the number 5 spot.
That covers 24 starts. And Flynn's first pitch up and away, ball 1. In there for a strike. Rajai 0 for his last 9. And the bat split off the end, and the ball goes foul.
He hasn't played in a while, so that wood must have got dried out to get a new bat.
Wouldn't take it long to get dried out in this weather, would it?
No sirree.
There's the umpires for tonight's ball game. I mean, it is smoking hot. And tomorrow with a day game. Whew. They tell us the game time temperature 91 degrees with a heat index of 102. Rajai shoots it in the air to right field. Paulo Orlando makes the grab. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Bounce back early, try to get some offense on the board early in this game. And for Danny Salazar, looking for that efficiency.
Yeah, pitches per inning, establishes fastball as well.
Jason Kipnis 1 for 4 last night. Kip 6 hits in his last 12 at bats, covering his last 3 games. Looks at a strike. Jason is the lone left-handed bat in the lineup tonight for Cleveland.
Yeah, coming in, left-handers 5 for 37 off Flynn this year. 26 years old. He was traded from the Marlins here for, you remember, reliever Aaron Crow. That came out of the Kansas City bullpen a couple of years ago.
Now the 1-1. Kipnis with a line drive base hit into center field, and Dyson able to race over and cut it off. Well, the Indians will have a 1-out base runner as you take another look at the job Kipnis does of taking that baby right back through the middle.
Got a nice fastball middle of the plate right down Broadway and put a good swing on it for hit number 1.
It'll bring up Francisco Lindor. Last night in the first inning, Edinson Volquez struck out the first 2 batters and did it quickly. And then Lindor hit a line drive down the right field line just inside the pole for his 11th home run of the year. But despite scoring first, the Indians would not win the ball game. Just their 13th loss against 41 wins this year when they score first. Indians lead Detroit by 5.5 games in the Central. Kansas City in third place, 7 games off the pace. Lindor taking it's in for a strike, and the count is 1-2. Chop to third. They go to second for 1. That's all they'll get as Kipnis is erased on the throw by Cuthbert. Lindor at first on the fielder's choice, 2 down, and Mike Napoli is the batter. You never know in life how things are going to turn out. A guy shows up at a ball game with a sign, just good-natured fun. He holds up the sign that says "Party at Napoli's." No one knows what it means or if there's any significance behind it, but the thing took on a life of its own.
Yes, it has.
And now you've got T-shirts, and then Napoli making a large donation to the Cleveland Clinic, and it's just really awesome. Yeah, I love things like that that are just organic.
Spur them on.
Yeah, they just kind of happen.
They just pop up and they just multiply.
Glenn taking a long look at Lindor, now tosses over.
Looks very deliberate out there. Coming set and just holding. It doesn't look like he's got a very good move whatsoever, but we'll have to wait and see.
Napoli with 20 homers and 63 runs batted in. You know, as a team, the Indians don't have any one individual that's lighting up the home run leaderboard. But as a team, they've got a lot of guys that have a moderate amount of home runs, which is why they're right up there among the league leaders in terms of home runs as a team.
That's fine with me. Everybody participates. You know, for Napoli, he's a .258 hitter, 3 homers and 14 ribbies against left-handers.
Swats this one high in the air, deep to left. If it's fair, it's gone. Gordon will watch it leave. And that baby long gone. So the party continues at Napoli's, and the Indians take a 2-run lead.
Boy, that one was high. It didn't have time to hook, and that he tried to get it inside on Knapp, and he said no thank you. He gets it out of there, so they get a 2-run homer in the first tonight and take a 2-0 lead for Mike Napoli's 21st home run and takes over the team lead in that department. There it is. Fastball up, middle in, and he jumped on it. Oh boy. He knew it. Just dropped the bat. He had a nice look at it.
Trying to see where that thing actually landed.
It landed way up at the top row of the bleachers.
Looks like it landed almost by their little Hall of Fame that they have out there.
It was very close.
They give us 423 feet on the distance.
Watch where it lands. Look at the top corner. See where the fans are jumping up and went
yeah,
over there.
Yeah. Carlos Santana with a swing and a miss. Napoli now 1 home run more than Carlos Santana as he takes the outright team lead in that category.
Well, there you go. One of the keys. Get on that board early.
Yeah.
They sure did. Come right out of the chute in the first inning.
Jam job, rolls it to short, and Escobar will throw him out. Boy, the Indians put last night behind him in a hurry. Napoli stakes the Tribe to a 2-0 lead. The Royals are coming to bat. First, the Royal starting lineup for Ned Yost. Alcides Escobar leading it off. Then it's Chesler Cuthbert. Eric Hosmer bats third. Kendry Morales cleanup. Salvador Perez fifth. Alex Gordon bats sixth. Then it's Paulo Orlando, Whit Merrifield, and Gerard Dyson bats ninth. Down low, ball one. Interesting in that it's the same starting 9 that the Royals had last night, but a completely different lineup. Escobar is still in the leadoff spot. But other than that, I don't think, well, Orlando's still hitting 7th, and Merrifield and Dyson, but he's mixed up the 2 through 6 spots. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, here we go. Slider first pitch, a beautiful fastball second pitch, and a slider on the third pitch. Normally, you don't see many sliders from Danny.
And a foul right back on the fastball. Out of play. Hard hit ball. Uribe with a diving stop gets up and throws him out.
How about that? Beautiful play. He goes back with that slider. It speeds up his bat a little bit, and Uribe makes a wonderful just diving stop. Gets to his feet quickly, throws out Escobar. And out number one. Nice play. Check out the Northern Ohio starting pitcher, Danny Salazar. Salazar making his 18th start. His last start came July 9th. It was at home against the Yankees. It wasn't a very good one, but he has beat the Kansas City Royals twice this year. He's 5-2 on the road.
Chesler Cuthbert was 2 for 3 last night with a run scored. And he chops one right back up the middle. And a 1-out single for Kansas City.
Check that Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. Behind Salazar tonight, it's Ramirez in left, Davis at center, Gonzalez gets the start right. Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Napoli at first, Jimenez doing the catching.
Well, here is Eric Hosmer, who was 2 for 3 with a run scored last night. A little bit outside, ball 1. Hosmer last night had the second consecutive hit to start that avalanche of runs in the 8th inning. And he came around to score what at that time was the game tying run.
This guy is just flat out a very good hitter. Uses the whole field. You have to change your pitching patterns. You like to face him with nobody on so you can do different things. But he's going to take a healthy cut.
Seems like even when he makes out, they're line drives.
Yeah, like last night he hit when there's a straight fastball 2-0. Come get me. That was heat against a big man. Mano a mano right there on a 2-0 count.
Two strikes to evens the count.
And I mean, this was dotted on the outside corner. Look at that. Boy, if you could stay there all night long, that's the place to be. As a hitter, it's so tough. You have to use your legs to go out and try and get that ball, and it's coming in at 95. Now they want to come in.
Knocked him back a little bit, full count. Well, kind of interesting to see what he comes up with here.
I'd say go heater, down and away like you threw that 2-2 pitch or the 1-2 pitch. Throw to first.
Oh, he almost came off the bag. Napoli had the tag down there, but Cuthbert able to keep a spike embedded in the pillow.
It looked like, let's see if his spike slides off the bag. Comes back and his momentum carried him off, and there's the toe. For a brief moment, he was about an inch off the bag.
Swing and a miss. He threw that fastball down and away.
That's what I'm talking about right there. You establish that first time through this lineup, and you're not going to be able to hit it. This is going to be our Circle K strikeout. I mean, excellent location. You see how tough it is to reach that ball. And the bigger the swing, that ball was by Hosmer. Boy, establish that pitch right there, and everything else will take care of itself. It'll all come off that pitch.
2 down, Kenry Morales the batter. Morales 0 for 1 last night. He walked, he was hit by a pitch, and he beat himself up with a couple of foul balls off his left and right feet. And that's why by the end of the game, he wasn't in there. It was Christian Colon who had the huge pinch hit 2-run double. Line drive left field. Ramirez makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, a man left. It's Cleveland 2, Kansas City nothing.
MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Jose Ramirez going to lead things off for the Tribe here in inning number 2. 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs last night. Brian Flynn, the left-hander, deals the strike. Changed pace. Ramirez out in front of it. Look out. Off the facing of the Indians dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. Ramirez leading off this second inning for Cleveland. Mike Napoli with a 2-out, 2-run homer in the first. The other way fouls it off.
Yeah, this is where Hosey goes to work now. He's a tough guy to strike out. If you're going to get him, he's going to make you work.
And he lines that in the left field for a base hit. Gordon backs up, plays it.
And an 0-2 pitch, slider down that Ramirez slaps to left field. So he goes down and hits his slider. That ball might have been out of the strike zone, but he did a nice job to stay on it. So the 3rd hit already for the Indians. And it looks like you can pick this guy up, Brian Flynn, very well. I mean, he's a big guy, but a long arm action, and you can pick it up. Doesn't look like he's very deceiving to the hitter.
Up and away, ball 1. You mentioned before that Brian Flynn came to the Royals from the Marlins for Aaron Crow. He got to the Marlins via the Tigers in exchange for Anibal Sanchez and Omar Infante.
Okay.
Line fouled on the right side.
They have some strong ties between Detroit and Florida, don't they, as far as trades go?
Yeah.
That's like a hotline.
Well, it certainly was during the Dave Dombrowski era.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yes, it was.
Understandably so. Brian Flynn, though, is a big dude at 6'7", 250 pounds. Uribe cuts and misses. It's 1-2. Flynn is a native of Oklahoma, pitched collegiately at Wichita State. And the Tigers made him a 7th-round pick in June of 2011. Uribe, boy, he didn't look comfortable in either of those two swings.
No, he did not.
Injury report tonight brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Lorenzo Cain, they're hoping to have him back in the next week or so. Mike Moustakas, another key injury with a right knee injury. They've had some injuries to the pitching staff as well, Vargas and Medlin. Although neither one of those guys was really pitching that effectively. Medlin had made 6 starts and an ERA of over 7. Chris Jimenez. Takes it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Slowly chopped to short. Escobar goes to second for 1 on to first. It's an inning-ending double play. Middle of the second, 2-0 Cleveland. by Buick coming into tonight. Danny Salazar leading the American League in earned run average. Just ahead of Boston knuckleballer Stephen Wright, Marco Estrada. Aaron Sanchez, his teammate, right there as well. And then Cole Hamels coming off a terrific performance against the Chicago Cubs. Salvador Perez will lead off inning number 2 for Kansas City.
Yeah, if they were watching the pitching pattern last night by Kluber, it seems like he elevated a lot of the fastballs and pitched them inside a little bit more than normal. This guy loves the ball away.
Shoots it out of play to the other side, and it's 0-2.
Checking with the umpire to see if that was a strike. Kluber outstanding last night, 5 hits in his 7 innings. Unfortunately, he cramped up going out to warm up in the 8th.
Upstairs, yeah, he said he just couldn't push off the rubber.
Yeah, you can't take a chance. It was too hot, the heat, and you can understand it could happen again tonight, and actually it could happen the rest of this road trip where we're going tomorrow. Day game, and then we're heading into Baltimore where it's supposed to be
near 100 all 3 days in Baltimore. The 1-2.
There you
swung
go.
out and missed. He chased some high cheddar. Second strikeout for Salazar, 1 down.
Like the sequence.
It's the 500th career strikeout for Danny Salazar, making him the 12th youngest pitcher in Indians history to get to that mark. The names: Bob Feller, Sudden Sam McDowell, Dennis Eckersley, Herb Score, CC, Willie Mitchell back in 1914, Gary Bell, Wes Farrell, Zeke, Greg Swindell, our pal from Fantasy Camp.
Okay.
Guy Morton, who did it in 1919. Mel Harder, one of the all-time greats, one of our favorite people. Louis Tiant.
Some good friends of ours. You said GB, Gary Bell.
Yeah.
Huh?
Danny's actually ahead of Louis Tiant, and the only other guy that's ahead of Danny is Addy Joss, and that's a credit to our own Mike Pactu, who did a little digging on the research, because a lot of the research only goes back to 1913. But Mike did some digging around and realized that Addy Joss, who pitched and got his 500th strikeout in 1906, was actually younger than Danny Salazar. The 2-1, a little bit high. 3 balls and a strike on Alex Gordon, who was 0 for 3 last night, but he did draw a key walk in that ugly 8th inning.
Yeah, this is a guy you have to make him hit his way on. He's not swinging the bat like he's capable of.
Pulls it foul, full count.
You know, he missed 28 games.
Herb Score did it in 68 games.
Okay. They say he had a curveball, a nasty fastball. We know Salazar does. Kluber 80 games. The great Bob Feller and Sudden Sam.
And the payoff pitch is fouled back. Got it in and out of the glove. So hard to compare pitchers of different eras because of how the approach of hitters has changed. Swing and a miss. Oh, did he change up on him nicely there? His 3rd strikeout, 2 down in the inning. Let's go down to Andre with more on Danny Salazar.
Well, one of the game plans for not only Danny Salazar, but all pitchers. I know Chris Jimenez talked to him about this. Even Cookie Carrasco, who will start tomorrow, is the aggressive nature of the Royals hitters on the first pitch. So that first pitch of the game, that was a slider. That was done purposely. You may see more first pitch sliders and curves as the game goes along.
Gotcha. That makes sense because Kansas City is a team, and they always have been. They want to get after you early. They're not a team that walks usually. They're last in the league in walks. They were last year as well. They don't hit many home runs, but they have success. They put the ball in play, and they're a good fastball hitting team. You know, instead of fouling it off, those guys have a tendency to put it in play.
Jam job. Kipnis dives, but it pops over his glove and into right field for a 2-out single.
Well, that ball jumped over Kipnis's glove. I think he thought he had it timed, and then all of a sudden you watch the ball take a hop. On the last hop, it'll jump up over the glove.
Did it hit the lip
of Kipnis? I'm got to see that again. No, it hit the dirt, and it had some tops. See how he hit the ball inside out? Watch, it had some spin. And watch it, it really jumped up there. That's a nice attempt, but it goes as a base hit. He got enough of it. It was the old inside out approach by Orlando.
So with 2 down, Whit Merrifield the better.
Yeah, see, a couple of times Gimenez is trying to work him in with that slider, and he doesn't get it out front. He gets a little lazy with it.
Orlando has 5 steals. He's only been caught once this year. Up high with a fastball, 2-1. It sometimes is a double-edged sword when hitters can't hit you, can't put the ball in play. It's great for the pitcher because you don't give up many hits. Salazar coming in had given up 77 hits in over 100 innings pitched this year. But it also inflates the pitch count because guys can't put the ball in play. Up with a lot of foul balls and some lengthy at bats.
Well, and the one thing, Danny, too, I mean, with the 77 hits, he has 46 walks. But, you know, he can strike you out, so the walks, he can, you know, neutralize it. Look at Kip walking around that left arm. Something happened to it on the dive right there. Looks a little sore.
Might be the shoulder, huh?
I don't know.
When he hit the ground, he was all out, all sprawled. Slowly tapped to short. Kipnis takes the feed from Lindor, and the inning is over. No runs ahead, a man left. We'll keep an eye on Kip. It's 2-0 Cleveland. 2 and later in the game for Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. First ball swinging, Eric Gonzalez. Just recently called up, made his major league debut in Minnesota. Getting a chance to start tonight, and he rifles a single into left center field. So the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. The ball gets away. Gonzalez thought about maybe going to second, but he'll just hold there at first. And Hosmer tosses the memento toward the Indians dugout.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Hit number 1 in his second at bat. Hit this ball right on the nose. Gets through the infield in a hurry. So the second straight inning that the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard.
So top of the order, Rajay Davis. Fly to right his first time up. And that's down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Indians lead it 2-0 on a Mike Napoli 2-run homer in the first. Way outside, and it's 3-0. Jason Kipnis waits on deck. That's a good sign. After he looked to be in some discomfort out there defensively. Raj takes a 4-pitch walk, and the Indians have their first 2 aboard. Let's go back and take a look at this play. This is an all-out diving effort.
Yeah, might have, you know, that elbow looked like it hit the ground as he's lunging for that ball. He was very uncomfortable there. Right there in the elbow is right. Little stinger. Don't be surprised to see him lay a bunt down here, down the third baseline then.
You wonder if maybe Perez went out and said something to Flynn about that very fact. Guys on the field, they don't miss much.
No, they don't.
He squares. He bunts, but it's foul. Bullpen up for Kansas City.
Yeah, you didn't know how long Flynn would have an opportunity to go. That was his first walk. He has already given up 4 hits. There's another guy that's been in that number 5 starter role this year, Dylan G.
He squares again, pulls it back, throw down to second, but Gonzalez beats the tag. Again, he squares, bunts it out in front of the plate. Perez goes to third, not in time, and the bases are loaded.
I like that right there. There's enough speed on the bases. Perez tried to make the great play and get the lead runner. Instead, you know, he was a little late. That ball was just out far enough at home plate where he couldn't plant and throw. He had to throw on the run. And there you'll see Gonzalez got a pretty good jump, and he couldn't get a lot on it. And he beats the throw. So that'll be
a sacrifice and a fielder's choice.
Right.
And Dave Island, the pitching coach, going to go out and talk with Flynn, but this is more just to give the bullpen a little bit of extra time because, as you said, Rick, you just don't know with 26 innings under his belt on the year how deep in the game he can go.
Well, it was about 70 pitches, maybe 75 tops. He's already had 40 pitches. It's his first start since 14. You're already down 2-0, and you've got Salazar against you. He can't let this one get out of hand. The Indians have an opportunity to get it out of hand in this inning with nobody out and the bases loaded.
Arcia in the driver's seat tonight. 21 career games against Kansas City. Lindor has done some damage with 6 home runs. Takes high, ball 1. So the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And good speed on the bases as well. You plug a gap here, all 3 could score.
Pulls it back, foul. Gonzalez at third, Davis at second, Kipnis at first. And a high pop to right. Orlando will make the catch. Gonzalez will tag, he's coming home. Davis will tag, he's going to third. Everybody's safe, and the Indians lead is 3-0 as Lindor picks up his 48th run batted in on the year.
And his 9th sacrifice fly. He leads the team in that department. He hit it deep enough. He also gets that guy from second to third. And Ned Yost is coming to the mound because he knows they can't give up many more. There you go. AL leader Francisco Lindor in that department he just took care of. Sacrifice fly makes it a 3-0 game. And Yost,
it does appear that he's going to go to the bullpen after just 2 1/3 innings. Brian Flynn is out. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Dylan G. And the right-hander is coming on when we come back.
Fireworks presented by Blaster Corporation on Friday, July 29th. The Tribe will host the Oakland Athletics, one of the only teams we haven't played yet. Plus, Budweiser cans are $2 in the right field district from 5 to 7, and 10,000 fans will get an ugly Christmas T-shirt courtesy of Papa John's. Just visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Dylan G. appearing in his 19th game this year. As Rick told you earlier, he's one of the many who have tried and failed in that 5th spot in the rotation for Kansas City this year.
He's made 5 starts.
Former 21st round pick of the Mets back in '07. Napoli with with 1 on and 2 out in the first inning smoked a home run at deep left, 423 feet.
Yeah, he got it rolling today in the first inning. Go figure, huh? If anybody gets this team going after a loss like last night, it's going to be Mike Napoli. Got him started on the right foot. They've added on in this inning, and he has a chance to get another big one that's out there at third base. Crooked numbers are good.
Fastball strike. 2-1 to count. That's fouled back out of play. Evens things up. Mike Sarbaugh coaching at third, and Sandy Alomar, of course, at first. By the way, that home run for Napoli also extended his hitting streak. He's hit in 8 consecutive games. You think of him more as the power hitter in the middle of the lineup, but it's not a pretty good overall hitting tear right now. And we saw last night that there are occasions when he gets to 2 strikes, he will take his base hit the other way.
This is the occasion right now. You've got 2 strikes. You've got that runner at third base. He's choking up. He's going to try to put that ball in play, and his main goal is to get Rajai Davis in to touch home plate.
Swing and a miss, and Kipnis has a stand-up steal of second base, but now there are 2 down. So Dylan G gets an important strikeout for Kansas City.
Well, you come out, he gets his first strikeout. It's a changeup. Down and away. It was located very well. And I'll tell you what, I'm surprised they didn't throw through, because Perez, one of the best throwing catchers in the league, didn't look like Kipnis had a very good jump. But with Rajai, the speed at third base, they chose not to throw through.
Carlos Santana grounded out his only time up. But that was batting right-handed with the lefty on the hill. Now from the other side of the plate, where he has hit 18 of his 20 home runs. Davis was jetting down the third base line, and that caused G to step off the rubber. Minnesota leads Detroit 3-0. They're in the 7th in the Motor City. A little bit low, 2-0. Two runners in scoring position for Cleveland here in the 3rd inning with 2 down, a run already in. But boy, a hit here would really take the life out of Kansas City.
Yes, it would.
Takes a strike, 2-1. High and maybe playable. Near the wall. No, it's just out of play as Paulo Orlando went over there, but it's about 2 rows back. So Santana has a reprieve, and G will continue to have to work hard to get out of the inning. He came on in relief of Brian Flynn and struck out Napoli.
Well, if they can get out of this with just the 1 run, that's going to be a big boost for them. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Hold foul. This is very similar to the way last night's game started, where the Indians scored early. They took the crowd out of it. They kept them down, kept them quiet, but they weren't able to bust through and really put a stranglehold on that game. Corey Kluber, the way he pitched through 7 innings, sort of made it a moot point up until then, but it changed in the 8th. Ground ball, and that'll end the inning. Tribe tacks on 1 thanks to the first major league hit of Eric Gonzalez, and then he hustled all the way around and scores the 3rd run of the night for Cleveland. By Levin Furniture, Gerard Dyson was a former 50th round pick, and last night hit a grand slam. He said, I don't try to do those things on the regular. It just happened.
His first career grand slam, only his 7th home run in about what, 500, 600 games.
He actually called it an accident last night. Right to Napoli. 1 down. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, if we can get a close-up of Danny Salazar's glove right now, that doesn't say Danny Salazar on there. I believe it says Cody Allen. We all know that Danny went to the All-Star game out in San Diego, and when the stuff was sent back, it was sent back to Cleveland. And as you guys know, with the RNC going on in Cleveland, you can't get inside Progressive Field. Therefore, he needed someone else's glove tonight when he pitched.
There you go. That's a nice tip right there. Now, why would they send it back to Cleveland? They thought we were going to open up on the road.
You know what Sergeant Gunny Highway says? You got to adapt. You got to improvise. You got to overcome. Who did we remember? Santana was using Sandy Alomar's glove at first base one time.
Yes.
Danny with the 0-1. I know as a former defender, you're pretty particular about your gamer, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, when you're a defender, that's special. But you take care of it. You don't let it out of your sight. You know.
Did you have a separate glove just for shagging, or did you use the same one all the time?
No, one for shagging, and you keep that sweetheart for games. You had to break in a backup.
Slowly chopped. Kipnis charges, flips it. 2 down. Did you use, Rick, multiple gloves during a year, or would one glove last you multiple seasons?
Yes, one would last me as an outfielder a number of years. I probably used about, I'd say, 4 gloves in my 13 years in the big leagues.
The reason I ask you is because I know it's a different position, but Omar Vizquel, I think you use a different glove every year.
Yeah, well, as many ground balls as you get and you take,
yeah.
You know, and his was flat anyway.
It was.
He never used it to catch.
Stiff as a board.
It deflected.
Yeah. It was more like a deflecting shield.
It was like a ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
That he deflected over to his hand and he would throw. You know, that's good. I think infielders would go through him, but you know they like to keep them. If you look at Tulowitzki's glove.
Oh, they think they call it the thing, don't they?
It looks like it's like a pancake.
Yeah.
You know, it's ugly, but it's comfortable for him and it gets the job done.
The 1-1 pitch to left, and a base hit for Cuthbert. Boy, this guy. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
And their second straight inning where they're able to get a 2-out base hit. There's a changeup down right there. This kid has done a nice job filling in for Mike Moustakas, not only defensively, but offensively as well. He's up in the 290 range, has 8 homers, 30 RBIs, plays very well.
He leads the Royals in hits against the Indians this year. That's his 12th hit.
There you go. All right. It always seems like he's making left turns against us.
In there for a strike to Eric Hosmer, who struck out his first time up.
Threw a good low fastball on a full count to get him in his first at bat.
Napoli with a great backhanded stop. He'll flip it to Salazar, and this inning is over. 3 complete. It's Cleveland 3, Kansas City nothing. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The Indians lead the Royals by a score of 3-0. Matt Underwood, Jensen Lewis, and of course Rick Manning with you here tonight. Jay Lou stopping by the booth. We've got the Indians live pre and post game versions on the road during this lengthy trip for the Tribe, with the Republican National Convention, of course, virtually taking over downtown Cleveland. We thought, what the heck, let's take the show on the road. So Jay Lou, what do you think so far as the way Danny Salazar has come out and pitched here tonight?
It's been impressive considering that you have that long of a layoff, and fastball command for any starting pitcher is key. But when you have those extended amount of days where you're not in game action, that's probably the first thing you look for. Does he have it? I mean, I think for what the layoff time was, I think he's done pretty well. Now it's a lot easier when Knapp gives you a 2-run homer to start. So
well, that's true. That's why it was big to get that lead.
Absolutely.
And let him go out there and relax a little bit. But they always score a lot of runs when Danny's on the mound. He gets 7.6 runs per ball game.
Juan Uribe steps in. Let me flip it around on the other side. Jensen, you've got Brian Flynn making his first start after pitching out of the bullpen most of the year. How difficult do you think it was for him to make this sort of sudden transition in the middle of the year?
Yeah, I think it's a balance too mentally.
High pop should be an easy play here in right field for Orlando.
I think it's a more so as a starter, you know, you're trying to hold back, you're trying to gauge, you know, how the game is. Relieving, you just come out and you air it out. And I think with Flynn, you know, Tino was talking about his stuff. He said, hey, he's got really good stuff, but you know, you've also got that pitch count in the back of your mind. We knew he was going to be kind of restricted till he got stretched out. So that's a tough balancing act, and especially against a lineup that can take some pitches if they need to. You know, at the top there, I think that's a big thing to have to overcome.
Dylan G came on and has since retired all 4 that he has faced. But he was a starter, then has gone to the bullpen. Who knows where he fits in, if he does fit at all, for the Royals and their plans for the rest of this season. But Kansas City's sort of in an all-hands-on-deck mode right now.
We were talking with Jeff Montgomery of the pre- and post-game for the Royals, and he had mentioned a crazy stat about their rotation. Their number 5 starters who have pitched for them this year, the team record is 10 games under 500.
And that's a fair ball. And Chris Gimenez has himself a base hit. Well, you know, and we talk about a starting rotation when you're putting it together in spring training and who fits where. And a lot of times we focus on that 5th spot in the rotation as this big battle in spring training because it's usually the only thing there is to talk about, right?
Right.
And a lot of times it's like it doesn't really matter because you're going to use probably a couple of different guys. But for Kansas City, it's been a nightmare because they haven't found a single guy to nail down that spot.
And the injuries in the bullpen, too. You have roles that are being shuffled, new guys coming up. You're not really sure the effectiveness of guys that are just getting here, too.
Gonzalez bounces into an inning-ending fielder's choice. Middle of the 4th, Cleveland 3, Kansas City 0. Baseball shows us that Adam Lynn is the 2nd player to hit 2 walk-off home runs in a season with the team down by at least 2 runs. The other was David Ortiz back in 06.
Did anybody see the highlights of that last night? Did you see him?
That was
Before
unreal.
He got the home plate, took the helmet off and shot it like a 3-pointer into the pile of guys he was running into.
Oh, that was great. See, that's the time where you can celebrate it. No pitcher's going to get mad at you for that. I mean, you just hit a walk-off grand slam. Absolutely.
Foul down the left side off the bat of Kenry Morales. He lined out to left his first time up.
Boy, how much has David Robertson struggled for them in the back end?
A lot. He was part of that the bullpen that came in here and gave up 7 runs to the Royals when they lost. They had, what, a 7-1 lead going in.
Just the fall from grace, guys. I know we were sitting there early in the season saying, is Chicago for real? Boy, it has been.
What were they, 23-10? They started the year
5 games up, something like that, and it's been.
Well, they've lost 5 in a row going into tonight.
They went 34 innings without scoring a run here up until they had that lead yesterday.
Didn't it equal a franchise record, I think?
It was very close,
yeah.
yes. I mean, they were close to nearly breaking the record. They ended up scoring that one run, and they had a 3-0 lead going into the 9th yesterday and gave it up.
Now the 1-2. And Morales is punched out by Salazar, his fourth K of the night.
Yeah, look at that location of this heater going down. It's you know, as a hitter, when you see fastballs, and you may not even see them, they're going 95. He dots the outside corner. It's so tough to get down there and hit. That's a perfect pitch.
And that's got, and Rick too, watching it from there, you can kind of see it hits another gear almost halfway to the plate. That's been the great part about this rotation. I think Cleveland fans, you're kind of spoiled because the velocity and just the revolutions from these guys, if you're sitting down behind home plate, you hear hop. And all of these guys, when it gets to the plate, man, I mean, it is just running right at you.
I want to know what Salazar's having a great time out there. He's giggling to himself. And that ball's fouled back out of play. I don't know if it was the way Morales reacted to that fastball when he struck him out or what happened, but
Ricky and I were just talking about this, about pitch selection and how Chris Jimenez has been able to simplify Bauer. I think you're seeing a lot of that with Salazar tonight.
Hit him on the foot. He recovers.
The magician.
That's simple.
And he throws him out 2 away.
Very efficient kick stop.
And it goes, you know, the break of it, it stops dead right off his foot. Look at, he's laughing. He's still laughing.
That's part of that soccer routine those guys do.
That's right.
He had this practiced right here. I got it.
Elevated. And a kick save and a beauty. It just stays right around him, and he throws him out.
Yep, just real calm. Gets to it. No overthrow.
But you see that fastball was elevated a little bit more. But when he can locate that fastball down that has some giddy up to it, you can't hit it as a hitter.
What I like about him, and I think you guys have talked about it, he's taken himself to another level. We know about the changeup, but the breaking ball too, where he's really solidified all 3 pitches.
Consistency has to come more. That's his third, in my opinion, his third best pitch is that slider.
And once he gets
he has
that,
a curveball too, but he never throws it.
Once he gets real good command, kind of lead with it, be able to punch guys out, backdoor it.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you can command your fastball, you can mix in that changeup, and occasionally throw that 8 to 10 times a game when needed. Be deadly, lethal.
Because then you force guys, at least for scouting reports. Hitters know that you've got 95 plus. Now it's, okay, am I looking for the changeup? Am I going to just look for the breaking ball?
And you're 0-2 and you're going, good luck.
There you go. There's the breaking ball. It was at the changeup.
He has struck out 5 tonight. He mows them down 1, 2, 3 for the first time here in the 4th. And the Indians roll on 3-0. Is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. 3-0, the Indians lead it. And we go to the 5th inning, top of the order. Rajai Davis will lead it off for the Tribe. Fly to right in the first. He walked in the third. Takes a strike here. Hop back into the seats. And the count quickly 0-2.
Guys, I know we were talking earlier this year about the whole Santana leadoff experiment. How big has Rajai been?
He adds a lot, another dimension. He helped get a lot of these guys looking at base running.
Strikes out here, 1 down in the 5th. I think it's going to be another skilled juggling act by Terry Francona, though, as we start to go down the stretch here in the second half. When you've got plays like Uribe, players like Davis who are on the other side of 35 now, you want to keep them fresh,
getting those days off,
but they're also important players, so you got to balance keeping them productive.
Well, he's been very good to this point about doing that, picking the days and how he chooses his lineup, and it seems like Santana drops to that 5th or 6th hole when there's a left-hander starting. Davis goes up into that leadoff spot.
And another guy too, looking at right here with Kip. He and Lindor playing all those innings up the middle. I mean, they're going to start to be leverage innings here. You get into September, get into a pennant race.
Well, and there was certainly hope that if Michael Brantley could come back, that would maybe loosen up Jose Ramirez to play some infield to give those guys days off. Boy, you just don't know with Brantley. There's a ground ball, and that's going to be fair. Down the right field line. Kip's on his way. He's got second base easily, and he'll stop there with a 1-out double. Let's go down to Andre Knott with the latest on Michael B.
Well, the latest is he's going to get looked at again because they're going to get an enhanced image of the shoulder because he's feeling something at the top of his swing. When he's getting through his swing and trying to finish that swing through, he's not feeling everything the way he wants to feel it. So they're going to have another doctor check it out tomorrow and see exactly what's going on inside that shoulder. But because he's had multiple surgeries on there, really no telling what they're going to see and what it's going to tell them at this point in time.
Yeah, the bottom line is it's not good news.
Well, you wouldn't think so. If you can't play in back-to-back days, then you know there's no reason to even try to move forward.
Up and away, ball 1 to Francisco Lindor.
I guess that becomes, you know, we've heard a lot of people ask us, well, are they going to go get a bat? And I know the stock answer has been, you have the bat, you're just trying to get him healthy. And then where you go from there, if you know, because fellas, we only got, you know, a week or so, a couple of weeks until that decision really is.
It's less than 2 weeks now.
Because then at that point, man, and this team is built to win this year. And I think they feel it. I think they know that. You see last night with Brian Shaw and in the back end of the bullpen. Again, I don't care who you are. I know we were talking about this as well. If you fall behind to any team in the big leagues, you're going to get hurt.
Once it gets to the back end, it's when they have a lead, more times than not, they're slamming the door.
Well, I just hope fans understand that this is not an easy thing to do. It'd be great if this was just Stratomatic or just a computer game and you just punch in your trade and make it happen. But there are multiple teams. I mean, I was watching TV today, and we're going to play the Washington Nationals. They're another team that's looking for bullpen help, specifically a left-hander to help their bullpen. So there are a lot of teams looking for pretty much the same thing. And
a bat and bullpen help.
And it's not the Indians are just sitting on their hands. They're actively making phone calls and talking, but it's easier said than done.
And it's ironic too that New York, has not only a bat that would help with Beltran in the outfield. We know about Miller. We know about Chapman.
But the thing for me with Beltran, he can't play the field.
Correct.
So he's strictly a DH. So what do you do with Santana then?
Yep.
I don't. Now you're limiting your numbers.
Now the 2-2 pitch, fouled back.
Because then that does become a balancing act of, Matty, you said guys on the other side of 35. Well, we know Beltran is for that.
39.
And you worry about an injury because now you go make this trade while this guy can't even play for you. That's even worse.
There's a 2-2 now to Lindor, and he fouled that off of his foot.
I know one thing. Every time when you see the trading deadline come and everybody wants to go after bats, when you trade and you get a guy and he comes over and doesn't hit for you, I'd rather have pitching because this team is built on pitching.
Yeah.
Good pitching is going to stop good hitting, and we've got good starting pitching. We've got to strengthen the bullpen. That would be a strength. We got to add to that and give up fewer runs.
I know we make the argument too about that if you don't score them, you got to be really good at preventing them, and that's another avenue to go.
Oh, it got through the glove of G, and everybody's safe.
There you go, infield single.
Well, what an at bat for Frankie. I mean, he fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch. And at the end, he doesn't really smoke it, but he puts it in play, and it ends up an infield single.
I want to ask you, Jensen, when you're a pitcher and you're out there, anything you see coming your way, pitchers just automatically try to catch it, don't they?
Absolutely. And
I mean, it's just reactionary, right?
Yeah, and I think, you know, taking that a step further last night when you see Shaw, you're an athlete. You don't go through PFP and spring training every year to just let the ball go by you.
Right.
And so that's a natural reaction to try and field that.
But here's Mike Napoli with 2 on and 1 out, and a throw to first.
Show you the difference in the breaks. Salazar takes one off the foot, it stops, and it goes right there. He picks it up and throws it to first base. Here, Guy gets a part of it. Boom. He stops it,
it's
and he deadens it. You know, it's how you're going.
I want to ask another question, though, as the pitch is high. Before every pitch, are you really cognizant of where your defenders are? Because last night, I don't know, did Shaw know that Lindor was literally standing right behind him?
I think you're only cognizant of it in a double play situation because you want to know how much time you're going to have to take to allow your middle infielders to get there, because what you don't want to do is lead them on a bad throw.
Well, maybe look at here.
Yeah, you'll see and this is natural reaction. I mean, this would be no different than any other reliever in that situation. You get comebacks all the time. You practice it that way where, hey, you're being athletic off the mound. And that was just a bad break.
Napoli chops one foul.
And then Hosmer, that was a good pitch. That's in on the hands.
Yeah, but it was elevated.
It was elevated.
Yeah, it got to the trademark, but he's such a good hitter and strong enough he can fight it off.
And at that point as a reliever, you've got to be able to shut the inning down. They were giving you the out with the bunt.
Well, that's what upset me. He falls behind on the first 2 pitches.
You've got to throw a strike.
Trying to give you an out.
Absolutely.
2-1 pitch. And it's up at the neck of Napoli, who goes down to the dirt. And it's a 3-1 count. I'd like to think that was not a purpose pitch, but certainly will raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, it looks like it got away from him a little bit. 2-seam action.
Well, it's all right. He's down. He's in a hitter's count. He'll dig back in. You're not going to intimidate Mike. He'll be looking right down for something away, and I'd look for that changeup. I think he got him the last time with a changeup.
Better be aware there in left field. Watch out.
He was trying to hit that up onto the interstate. And it's a full count.
That's all right. He had a free shot. As he says, I try to hit a home run every time. Now he's got a 3-2 count. You just need something to get that guy in from third base and get that 4th run in.
Kipnis is the runner at third. Lindor over at first. Lindor takes off, and the payoff pitch is pop foul out of play.
I don't know if we could have expected this kind of production this far into the season, but 21 homers, Rick.
I know. He had, what did he have, 17 or 18 all last year?
Right.
And he's at 21 now, the team lead. You know, and he's up there. He's 65 RBIs. He's been the man in the middle of the lineup. He's been tremendous. And a pretty solid defensive first baseman as well.
Lindor running again. It's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Here's the other thing with regards to Napoli, guys. Jose Ramirez, fantastic job. Santana, when he's batted 5th, great job. But it's not like he's had a big old stud behind him all year.
Right.
I mean, he's batted behind Lindor, so he's protected Frankie. But he hasn't exactly had a ton of protection behind him, and he still put up productive numbers.
And the way that Jose has been swinging, it's kind of made him into that intimidating factor that's allowed for some lineup protection. I mean, that's the biggest surprise of the year. There's no question about it. Nobody's going into spring training saying you're going to hit 400 with runners in scoring position, but that's definitely the lineup protection that they've needed, and more importantly, production in the clutch.
Well, here's Santana now with the bases loaded, and he's swinging a foul back.
Well, and Ramirez has hit everywhere, you know, so right now he's in the middle part of the lineup where you can do some damage. Now here's a guy that he's not going to change whether he hits first, whether he hits fifth or anything. I will say this, when he gets guys at scoring position, he loses all his patience.
Santana.
Yes.
Yep.
He swings at everything. Instead of zoning in to his strength,
one pitch,
you know, and maybe you get the counts in your favor, he really expands his zone.
You know, we always talk about when the bases are loaded, hitters always try to say the pressure's on the pitcher.
Yeah, it is.
What about when you were out there when the bases were loaded? What was your thinking?
Right here, to me, if you can get a strikeout, obviously that's what you're shooting for, but you want to try and keep the ball in the infield because you've got it out at any base.
Santana jolts one into right field. That's a base hit. Kipnis scores. Lindor's coming home. He'll score 2. And Carlos Santana delivers a big knock for the Tribe as they go up 5-0.
Well, he put a nice swing on a fastball middle in. Let's take a look at this, our AT&T high-speed replay. I thought it was in. It was actually away.
It was.
And Carlos likes to extend the arm. So there it was. He got it and hit a line drive. 2 will come in. They're opening this one up. It's now a 5-0 ball game.
And Dave Island, a pitching coach, going out to talk with Dylan G. No action in the Kansas City bullpen. They need some innings from G after the starter Brian Flynn went just 2 1/3.
There's another perfect example of what mislocations in the big leagues do to you. And again, you know, we talk about how the Royals bullpen has been so dominant for so many years, and obviously, you know, G is not the shutdown guy that they have in the back end. But watch this location. It creeps back out over. Yep.
Yeah.
Salvi wants it in. You can see it leak back out. Here's another great look right here.
Well, he has a 2-seamer too, and that thing always runs, and he's not overpowering. It's about 90, you know, 91 tops, but it has that movement, and it moved right into the barrel head of the bat.
Jose Ramirez 1 out of 2 on the night and takes low, ball 1.
Yeah. To finish your point, Matt, when you're at least coming in from the pen in this situation, you know you're trying to keep it from getting blown open. You're trying to get something on the ground up the middle to turn 2.
Well, now he's behind Ramirez. 2 balls, no strikes with Juan Uribe waiting on deck.
No help beyond the fence.
None at all.
This is his inning.
And a ground ball to first. Hosmer will go to second. There's one back to first. Ramirez beats it out. Boy, did you see him leap for the bag like he was at the finish line at the Olympics.
I wonder if G was late getting over there. It didn't look like he was on his horse. Take another look at Ramirez here. Out of the box, too. He knows that he's trying to break it up. Nice job. Let's see if he goes over there. Yeah, well, I guess there's a little hesitation, but it's just a nice job by Jose.
The toughest thing is, you know, that pitcher has to search for the bag.
Yep.
If you don't, the quicker you get over there, the better you are, aren't you? Where you can run your pattern to get to the base.
Most guys will teach you to just bust your butt over there as fast as possible, so then you can set up.
Right.
You got to get there because there's no way. It's so hard to lead a guy when you're trying to turn 2 that way.
Kind of like an outfielder, run to the spot and then adjust.
And then make your adjustment. Yes, the quicker you get there, the better it is for you.
Juan Uribe 0 for 2 here tonight. Looks at a ball outside.
You think in the grand scheme of things about the emotion from last night's game coming out, how big Napoli's homer is to kind of get that momentum and that positive mentality back on your side.
That's the beauty of baseball, and it was said to me a long time ago when I asked the dumb question about momentum, and it was quickly explained to me, momentum, son, is tomorrow's starting pitcher.
That's right.
And that's the truth about baseball. You might think it was a great win, and it might be a springboard for a team. As Uribe bangs one right back up the middle, and Napoli comes home with the 3rd run of the inning. And now the Indians lead it 6-0.
Yeah. He's going to get his 7 runs before the 5th inning.
The route is on. And again, yeah, look who's pitching. Salazar.
Yep.
He's getting his runs.
And again, another mislocation. That 2-seamer running over just doesn't seem like he's got the feel where to start that tonight.
Well, the Indians now with 9 hits. This is drawn up the way they wanted to do it. Score early and continue to add on and let Salazar just cruise.
When a pitcher misses his location, we see where the catcher's set up. We see the glove move back in the middle of the plate. From your viewpoint, what goes wrong for a pitcher most of the time? What's the most common denominator?
I think you can probably look at a front side, at least a glove side mechanics. That's where you'll get more of the leak. So guys will become rotational instead of driving the ball down. But the sinker ball guy that's got a lot of movement with G here, you know you're going to have balls that are down. So the fact that he's up in the zone, that kind of tells you he's opening up a little bit too early.
Now the 1-1 down the right field line. This is trouble if it's fair. It is a foul ball hit off that side wall as Jimenez was bidding for a big 3-run homer right there, and could have been a huge knockout blow.
Sometimes you get out there and you have as a pitcher, you know you're in trouble. You try and maybe overthrow sometimes, don't you? You know, and he's trying to throw through that 2-seamer.
Dylan G has made 55 pitches since he came on in the 3rd inning.
Oh.
Danny Salazar has made 55 pitches
for the game
through 4 innings. And a ground ball foul, third base side. Yeah, because you know we watch the replays a lot of times on a home run and say, oh, see where the catcher was set up, but look where that ball ended up over the middle of the plate. And you often wonder, is it just the way it comes out of your hands sometimes? Is it, you know, is it finger pressure? You didn't do it exactly the way you wanted to.
There's certainly times where you let it go and you're like, this is going a long way. Yeah, you just kind of already asked the umpire for another ball because you know it's not coming back.
Swung on and missed. G strikes out Jimenez to end the inning, but what an inning for the Tribe. They post 3 on the board and now lead it 6-0. All right, Danny Salazar goes to work here in the bottom of the 5th. He set him down 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. And Paulo Orlando leading off takes a strike. Orlando with a base hit into right field his first time up. It was a ground ball that just barely got by a diving Jason Kipnis. And there's a little. Did you see him pull the hand back? And of course, it hits the bag for a bad break.
Well, he had to stay behind the base. That was his angle he was going on. He couldn't cut in front. He chose to go over. He thought it was going to take a hop, but it hits the base. And Salazar thought about it and says, nope, I'll let it go.
Wisely done right there.
Absolutely. Done. See, that thing just didn't take a hop, and the angle that Lindor took there's nothing he could do. He couldn't change midstream. It hits the base and goes as an infield single. So that's the baseball gods are with Orlando today. He's 2 for 2.
And up comes Whit Merrifield, who bounced into a fielder's choice in that 2nd inning. You know, we noticed last night that defensively in the outfield, especially the off fielder, which in this case is the right fielder Eric Gonzalez, much more shallow setup than we've seen recently for the Indians. Now, last night we even saw Tyler Naquin in center field playing very shallow. Rajay's a little deeper, but he's a veteran. He's been around forever. He knows exactly where he needs to be lined up.
They were as shallow as I've seen them all year, and Ramirez was back, 5 feet in front here. An easy routine play. He doesn't have to move. When a pitcher makes his pitch, he's shallow enough. It's routine.
We asked Tito. We asked Tito about that. Was it by design? Were they playing in? And he said, yeah. So whatever their scouting reports were telling them, that's a perfect example. I mean, that makes your bench coaches look pretty good right there.
Guys, is by design after the last time this team was here in this ballpark. And I think they've challenged both Lonnie and Tyler Naquin to be more aggressive so they don't let those balls fall in that have fallen in the past. Now, we know Chisenhall's new at right field, and he hasn't played it his whole life. But Naquin, if you guys remember and go back to spring training, he likes to play in. So that's something that they've been working on over the last few weeks.
I do remember that last time here. They miscommunicated on a couple of balls. They were playing so deep. And more balls are going to be hit in front of you than over your head if a pitcher makes the right pitch. But we had a scout at dinner tonight ask us, were those guys really shallow? And he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He says, do they always play that shallow? I said, no, they're just started. And I noticed it in Minnesota when we started this road trip. So the second half, they must have made a real conscious effort. And I think if, as a pitcher, you make your pitches, you don't worry about these guys getting the ball hit over their head, do you?
As well as anybody, you're always taught to break back first, and you give them enough time to be able to go back there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Naquin was a right fielder before he moved to center, so that's got to affect him as far as learning how to play out there, getting the reads a little bit different.
I think, I think one time, here's one time. Well, you see how shallow they are. I mean, shallow. But I mean, this is Dyson hit a triple. Look at that would have been
if you're standing on the warning track.
Right. Even if you move back, they wouldn't have caught that ball. And his speed, it's a triple. But I'll tell you what, they also had 2 great relays in the alleys.
Yes.
It was Chisenhall to Kipnis to third base, and then it was Naquin to Lindor.
That's strikeout number 6 for Danny Salazar, and there are 2 down in the inning. Jensen, are pitchers generally aware of where the outfielders are lined up? I know you have to know where your infield guys are in case you get a comeback or when there's a guy on base, but do you even pay attention to where they're at in the outfield?
I think you have an idea, and it's probably dictated more so on the order. You talked about Dyson, Rick. Not a guy that's going to have a lot of power. He hits his first grand slam last night. Then you have guys like Hosmer, Morales that can drive the ball.
They'll back up.
They'll back him up. But yeah, you have an idea, and also where they're shaded, sometimes you might pitch to that. If a guy's pole-oriented, we see it with the shifts all the time. In a certain situation, it may affect how you want to pitch a guy so that where your fielders are, you got a higher percentage of the ball being hit to them.
We always laugh about that when you see the infield shift and the third baseman moves all the way up towards second base and a left-handed hitter's up. And a pitcher throws a ball on the outside part of the plate. Like, why would you throw it over there? He's got the whole left side of the infield open, but you're banking on him rolling over on it, not shooting it that way.
And I think we notice more so when you see infielders come in and they want to know what signs you're using, because that affects their positioning as well. Perfect case in point. Guyon right here with the middle up, and Salazar throwing hard. They can afford to be as far back here, even though they're going to look to try and cut that runner down. That's nasty.
Oh, Escobar went fishing, and the inning is over. 7 strikeouts for Danny Salazar. Jensen Lewis in the booth. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks, boys. Good to see you.
Appreciate it. 5 complete. Danny Salazar is nasty tonight. It takes everything to become a national champion. See the players, the course, and major championship history at the U.S. Senior Open coming to Scioto Country Club in Columbus on August the 8th. 2016, USSeniorOpen.com to get your tickets and for all the information. Eric Gonzalez will lead off the 6th for Cleveland. He singled and came around to score in the 3rd inning, his first major league hit. Pulls it foul. We've seen Eric Gonzalez before in spring training. He's a terrific defensive player, and I think the question is how would his bat eventually play? He's done a nice job this year at AAA, and last year he hit .280 when he was at AA. And at 6'3", 200 pounds, he's a big kid for a middle infielder. Can also play third, and now he's also learning to play the outfield.
Boy, it seems like nowadays you have to play more than one position.
Yeah.
These guys come up, they play them everywhere down in the minor leagues. A couple of positions, they try them everywhere.
He went after it and strikes out. 4th strikeout for Dylan G. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 2 out in the 1st, and Mike Napoli put a 2 spot on the board for Cleveland with his 21st home run. Indians added a run on a sac fly by Lindor in the 3rd, and then Santana with a 2-run jolt in the 5th, capped by a Juan Uribe single up the gut. And the Indians lead it 6-0. Rajai Davis lifts the fly ball to shallow right. In comes Orlando. 1 away, or 2 down. And it'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Want to send along some happy birthday wishes to Allie Burke, celebrating her 19th birthday today. And how about this?
Happy birthday, Allie.
She celebrated by playing softball. She took a perfect game into the last inning, had 2 outs.
No, don't tell me.
And let it slip away.
Well, no, somebody got a hit. She didn't let it slip away. Oh, that's too bad.
Happy birthday anyway, Allie.
Let's go get cake and ice cream.
That's right. Go to your room.
You're tough. She got the win, though, right?
I hope so. I didn't get the rest of the story.
Okay. We'll read about that tomorrow.
Who's that guy? Paul Harvey?
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. I'm sure we'll get the rest of the story sometime soon. The 0-2 offering is fouled right back. And Jason with a line drive into the glove of Merrifield to end the inning. Middle of the 6th. It's still Cleveland 6, Kansas City nothing.
including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Shaw. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Cheslor Cuthbert leading off here in the home half of the 6th for Kansas City. He is a perfect 2 for 2 on the night. Singled up the middle in the first, singled to left in the third. And that fastball took off. 2-0. Out of play. Danny has given up 4 hits here tonight. All 4 of them have been singles. He has struck out 7 and most importantly has not walked a batter. Two and two.
He's looking for win number 11. The Indians looking for their first win in this ballpark this year out of 5 tries.
Well, a full count for Cuthbert. Chop to third, Uribe. Throws him out, 1 down. As promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Take a look at some of Danny Salazar's strikeouts on the super slow-mo.
Good fastball right there. Here comes the changeup. And you can see how far out in front Gordon was. And now a slider. You can see that little dot there. There it is. Right on the outside edge.
Fastball to Eric Hosmer, but it misses high. A little something off. It's down and in 2-0. So now time for the rest of the story. Allie did get the win and she struck out 19.
Very good.
That's a way to celebrate your birthday.
Congratulations and happy birthday once again.
Danny steps away. Up the middle. And a great effort by Lindor, but could not come up with it. And Hosmer is aboard with a 1-out single.
You know, average guys hit that ball, and Lindor might be a little upset, but Hosmer's so big, and he has the top spin to get it through the infield. A normal-sized guy wouldn't get it. You can see Lindor was there, but it just had that extra little bounce to it. So Hosmer, his first hit, 5th hit for the Royals.
But again, all 5 have been singles.
Yep.
Henry Morales pops one up, and Jose Ramirez a long run into foul territory, and it's just out of reach into the crowd. Thought maybe that was going to stay in play. He made Ramirez run a long way for nothing, though, didn't he?
Well, you never know when they're going to come back into play there. That landed about the 3rd or 4th row, and he's looking, hey, you want me closer to the line so I don't have to run as far? And he is. He's a little bit closer to the line this time.
Morales was a key figure in Kansas City's run to the World Championship a year ago. probably overlooked for the most part because of the performance by Sal Perez and Eric Hosmer and others. But I don't think they get there without this guy.
No, the protection. He was the protection right in the middle of that lineup that he broke up, you know, Hosmer, Moustakas.
And he beats the shift with a base hit to left.
Well, we've seen him do it a number of times to the Indians this year, and he does it again. He'll take that base hit when he wants to, going the other way. They need base runners. It's a 6-0 game, so he says, why try and pull it? I'm going to get on top of this heater, and I'm not going to pull it. I'm just going to slap it. That's an easy pitch for him to go the other way because it is upstairs. So the first time they've had 2 runners on in an inning.
And now the Royals have a legitimate threat with Salvador Perez at the plate. They may not have a more clutch performer on this team.
He's upset he had a pitch to hit. He fell.
Ground ball, base hit left field. And they're going to wave Hosmer home, and he's going to score. So the Royals are on the board on 3 straight hits in the inning. And now they got that crowd jumping.
There's a fastball that stayed right there. Pretty good pitch to hit, and he does. He hits it into left field. Hosmer going to score easily. So still all singles for the Royals, but they're on the board now. Still 1 out. Callaway going to come out and have a talk with Danny Salazar. Sure, they're going to get somebody up in that bullpen.
And the batter will be Alex Gordon as the Indians scramble to get the bullpen busy. What a performance tonight by Tommy Malone of the Minnesota Twins. He went 8 1/3 innings against the Tigers up in Detroit. And he went into the 9th having not allowed a run. Tigers did score 2 in the 9th. They're still batting with the game still going on, but Minnesota leads it 6-2, and it's now just gone final. Twins beat the Tigers 6-2. That was Anibal Sanchez that started and took the loss for Detroit. Dan Otero getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen. Down and in. 2-0.
Late in the ball game is when Kansas City does a lot of their scoring.
Pulls it to first. Napoli says, I'll take it. 2 down. Morales to third, Perez to second base. Our great clip of the game from last night. Corey Kluber, he went 7. 5-hit shutout innings. He walked 3, struck out 8 before it all went sideways in the 8th inning. But he did his job, and now the Indians are hoping to see Danny Salazar continue to do his. He's up 6-1. Paulo Orlando is the batter. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He finds a way to punch one through. All of a sudden, it might be a 3-run game, and the Royals would be really right back in this thing.
Well, they believe they would be. You're right. This is a good fire to put out right here.
A little bit outside, ball 1. Orlando's single in the second was just beyond the reach of a diving Jason Kipnis. And at last inning, he hit one just over the mound and it hit the bag at second base, enabling him to reach on an infield single. And that was a low tracer right at the kneecaps, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, shake your head. There's not much you can do with that pitch. We've seen it when he's put it there all night. I don't think anybody has hit it yet, nor will they.
Uh-oh. Jimenez throws, no, could not get the ball out of his hand, and the Royals get a run on the wild pitch. It's now 6-2.
It's a slider. Jimenez tried to keep it in front of him. That's a 6th wild pitch. You know, he was out of control. Don't know that they would have had him, because you can see where Morales really had a pretty good jump coming in from third base. So probably wisely held on to that ball. So you don't want to throw it wildly, and another run could score.
And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. On a play to the right. On their incredible 7-run 8th inning last night, Ned Yost said after the game, he said, I don't know. I can't explain it. And he said, if anybody out there watching in TV land has an explanation, let me know, please. I'm all ears. This team just never feels like it's out of a game at home. The 2-2. Broke his bat. Lindor back, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. Royals get on the board for the first time tonight. We'll go to the 7th. 6-2 Cleveland. Brought to you by Ford. Built Ford tough. By the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. And by Adventure Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Up to 25% off on 2016's Save Now. Beautiful look at downtown Kansas City, where right now the Indians hold a 6-2 lead over the Royals at Kauffman Stadium, and Francisco Lindor will lead off the 7th. He has scored 2 runs. He has driven in 1. Lindor, Napoli, Santana for the Indians in the 7th. Upstairs, 1-1. Popped him up. And the shortstop Escobar has it. Well, we'll wrap up this series tomorrow afternoon when Carlos Carrasco goes for the Tribe. Ian Kennedy for KC. We'll begin our coverage with Indians Live at 1:30. Live from Kauffman Stadium. Alan Jensen will be here on site. First pitch at 2 right here on your home for Indians baseball. Sports Time, Ohio. Napoli with a smash towards second base. And Merrifield's long throw is on the money. 2 down.
Well, you can grab a Tribe Ugly Christmas t-shirt courtesy of Papa John's Friday. Oakland coming to town at the end of the month. That'll be July 29th. $2 Budweisers from 5 to 7 out in the district. $1 dogs, post-game fireworks show. Go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Wonder what those ugly t-shirts look like.
Think of Murph and put them on your shirt.
Wow, that's rough. What did he do to you?
Nothing. I know he's listening. That's why.
That's an ugly t-shirt.
I don't know. I really haven't seen him yet.
Maybe it's a big secret. I mean, like it's a top secret kind of deal. Santana pops it up, playable. Cuthbert catches it. Indians go 1-2-3. Stretch time in Kansas City. 6-2 Cleveland. The Indians lead the Royals.
How's that for a nice full moon tonight?
That is a great shot.
Yes, it is.
Danny Salazar's first pitch to Whit Merrifield is up high. Merrifield bounced into a fielder's choice that ended the second. He flied to right back in the 5th inning. And a fastball strike. Merrifield thought it was high, but it was right down the heart of the plate. A little bit outside. 3-1. High, ball 4.
First walk of the night, and that's, you don't want to start walking guys now late in the ball game. Well, KeyBank Kids tickets are just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. They are located in the family deck at Progressive Field and home to the expanded Kids Clubhouse. Go to Indians.com for your kids tickets.
Up and away.
Danny's been very efficient for the most part. His first walk coming here to lead off this 7th. Now I don't know if he's losing it or what. And Callaway's going to come out and have a talk with him. Bottom part of the lineup, you cannot keep giving base runners. We told you that they score late. When you look at the 8th and 9th inning for the Royals on the year, I know we're only in the 7th, but the Royals have outscored their opponents 60-29 in the 8th inning and 28-21 in the 9th inning. And they have played excellent baseball in this ballpark, so you don't want to give them anything. They're going to have to earn it, but they've had a lot of magic in this ballpark this year.
The 2-0 pitch is lined to center. Rajai Davis got a great jump on it. He'll throw to second, but it's not in time. And the Royals have their first 2 aboard here in the 7th inning. But again, he's playing deeper than Naquin was playing last night, and he wasn't able to get there.
Yeah, ball's going to come in. It's a line drive right at you. You can see he didn't get a bad jump on it. It just falls in play. To throw a little bit offline. That's a pretty good job of base running by Merrifield, because that's not an easy play to read. If he catches that ball, he's really going to have to scamper to get back to first.
And up comes Alcides Escobar, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Fouled right back. It gets away, and the runners will both advance.
Yeah, there's a cross-up right there. Whatever Jimenez called for, he wasn't looking for it. Looked like it might have been a slider. And look at him. He's looking for another pitch. He's looking for another one going the other way. Don't know if it was a changeup, but he threw him a different pitch. And what he called, he actually got it on the bare hand. So that takes the double play away. It'll probably go as a pass ball, but that's not his fault. They're not on the same.
Call it a wild pitch.
Okay. Either way, the runners
now
move up.
Now he's changed it to a pass ball. I don't know.
Okay, it's a pass ball.
Here's Alcides Escobar up and in, and it's ball 1.
for whatever reason, here we are, the 7th, and Salazar getting erratic now.
Nobody out as Kansas City looks to make another comeback. 3-1. Kessler Cuthbert waits on deck. Popped him up. Napoli to the dugout. Makes the catch. Oh, is that huge on a 3-1 pitch? Escobar fouls out for the first out of the inning.
He caught a break. He got him to swing at a bad pitch, a ball out of the zone, and he's going to go, if he didn't already break that bat, and break it again. And it stays in play, and there's nothing worse as a hitter than, boy, oh boy, giving up a base on ball for swinging at a pitch out of the zone.
Yeah, that bat's got no chance of surviving.
No, it's gone. It was the bat's fault. Well, they get a big out here in this inning. And now you're going to have to go through a part of the lineup that is dangerous.
Kessler Cuthbert, 2 hits on the night.
This is the end of the tank, I think, for Salazar tonight. Everything's starting to leak upstairs.
In the air, left field, this deep enough to get the run home. Ramirez makes the catch. Both runners will tag. Scoring is Merrifield. Dyson to third, and there are 2 down in the inning. It's now a 6-3 ball game. So the pass ball costing a run here in the inning. But as you said, it's ruled a pass ball, but it was definitely some kind of a mix-up.
Yeah, there was a mix-up there, and you're right. That's a gift run because he walked the leadoff hitter, and then you have a pass ball because he didn't throw the right pitch. But his night is over. Danny's going to end up giving up 3 runs on 8 hits.
Walked 1, struck out 7, and he'll leave with a runner at third base, and left-hander Kyle Crockett is next. Now Danny Salazar yanked with 2 out in the 7th inning, and the Indians leading it by a score of 6-3. KC has a runner at third and Eric Hosmer the batter. He'll face left-hander Kyle Crockett, making his 12th appearance on the year. And in 3 2/3 innings of work, he has walked 2, struck out 4. He's allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. And he throws a first pitch strike. How important that is for any reliever coming into a ball game, but seems so much more so when you're in that specialist role of lefty on lefty.
Yeah, you don't want to fall behind him. You have to be aggressive. Got your matchup. You're the only left-hander they have, so this is your man.
Threw it by him at 91, but he elevated it up around the letters. No balls, 2 strikes.
They want it in. There goes Jimenez, but it goes up and away.
And the 2-strike pitch. Oh, it just missed down and in.
Well, I know one thing. Everybody was on the move in. Eddings just did not give him that pitch right there. Awfully good pitch.
Tougher to get the inside pitch off the plate than the outside pitch.
Yes, it is. It certainly is.
Blowing away, no chase. 2-2. Dyson, the runner at third base. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. He chased one in the dirt, strikes him out to end the inning. Kyle Crockett does his job, and we go to the 8th. 6-3 Cleveland. The telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (6-3) Cleveland. 8th inning. And Dylan G still out there for Kansas City. The starter Brian Flynn gave up 3 in 2 1/3. G has given up 3 runs in 4 2/3. Now make it 5 innings of work. G's 75th pitch since coming into the ball game.
You know, they had an option to probably start him as well today. Don't know if they had a chance to look back at it and say, I think I would have started him today as opposed to Flynn the lefty.
Well, it looked like the Indians were going to knock G out of the game when they sent 8 men to the plate and scored 3 times in that 5th. But he has rebounded since that inning.
Well, and then the Royals,
8 in a row.
and then the Royals got on the board, so it gave him a new life. He's been out there to put a 0 up in the 6th and 7th.
Juan Uribe awaits the 0-1 pitch. Maybe Andre can shed some light on as to why the Royals went with the lefty as opposed to the righty.
Well, before the game, Ned Yost said they know what they have in G and others. They wanted to see what Flynn could do. He'd been so good out of the bullpen. Not only did he help them in the game back at Progressive Field, but he had a long outing a couple weeks ago and another bad game for him. So they wanted to see what he could do as a starter because they need a 5th starter, and they've seen G do it already.
Okay, that makes sense. That number 5 starter for the Royals, as we mentioned tonight, has been terrible for him. 4-14 with an ERA of over 7.
Uribe down on strikes, 2 down. Saturday, it's a baseball doubleheader on FS1. All-star catcher Buster Posey and the Giants take on the New York Yankees, and then it's the Rangers and Royals. Action begins at 4 Eastern on FS1, and watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Well, speaking of the Yankees, they've won 3 in a row. On a game over 500 after they beat Baltimore tonight, and the Orioles have now lost 3 straight. Not sure what Boston has done, but the Red Sox have an opportunity to move back to even in the loss column with Baltimore if they win tonight. 2 quick strikes on Chris Jimenez. And a base hit right back up the middle. Red Sox shut out San Francisco 4-0, so Boston is now even with Baltimore in the loss column. They're a half game out of first.
Yeah, Porcello beat Peavy in that ball game. We got Chisenhall going to come up and pinch hit here. Twofold also put him in the outfield for defense.
Bonnie 0 for 1 on the year as a pinch hitter. And now here comes Ned Yost. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change. So Dylan G did a terrific job for Kansas City out of the bullpen, eating up innings. He goes 5 1/3. He allows 3. He's responsible for the runner at first, and we'll be right back to Kansas City. Here, it's coming up right after the ball game, live from Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City. Al and Jensen will have the highlights, and hopefully Andre will be able to catch up with one of the heroes if the Indians can hang on and win this one tonight. They lead it 6-3. They're batting with 1 on and 2 out in the 8th. Lonnie Chisenhall will be the hitter, and Chen-Ming Wong, who's a perfect 5-0 on the year and 27 appearances out of the bullpen with a 3.68 ERA. Fouled right back. Wong has logged, as you see there, 36 2/3 innings in those 27 appearances. Lonnie pops it up. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-3 Cleveland. Had a runner at third, 2 down. Eric Hosmer on, and the drive goes to left-hander Kyle Crockett.
Yeah, Crockett getting ahead of the hitter. A couple of fastballs, jumps up top 0-2, tried to get him to go, just missed on an inside heater, went slider, and I think one more slider here and got him to swing and miss. Nice little sequence there. Kyle Crockett, his first appearance since coming off, does the job, gets a big strikeout.
You know what they say when you get knocked off your horse? Get right back up and ride again. And so here's Brian Shaw coming on for the 45th time this season, but just 24 hours removed from a brutal outing last night that saw the Royals score 7 times in the 8th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall is in right field. Bullpen pitchers are probably under the microscope more than any other guy on a baseball team. And it's such a thankless job.
Sort of like a kicker.
Yeah, well, yeah, very much so. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. They don't remember all the kicks you make. They only remember the ones you miss.
That's absolutely right.
And look, whether that's fair or not, that's sort of the reality of that position on a ball club.
It is.
And I think every pitcher understands that. Doesn't mean it's easy to swallow, easy to deal with, but they understand that that does come with the territory.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. I will say this. He threw a changeup the second pitcher, and I haven't seen him throw a changeup all year. I could be wrong, but there was a changeup, and he followed it up with a fastball.
Salvador Perez takes a fastball for a strike. Perez had an RBI single his last time up. His first and only hit thus far in the series. Oh, there's another good off-speed pitch. And it's 0-2. You can see how Perez really fooled by that offering from Shaw. No balls, 2 strikes. Swung out and missed at the high heat. And so Shaw really changing and varying his deliveries here tonight. And he struck out the first 2.
Well, he elevated and he got him to see. He wanted it down and away. Do you see where his target was? And he went upstairs above the letters and got him to chase that.
Well, you know, when we had Jensen on earlier, a lot of times when pitchers miss like that, it's not that they do it on purpose, but something mechanically doesn't quite get lined up.
Yeah.
You know, in golf, we call that a good miss, right?
Yes, that's a really good miss because, I mean, he missed his target by 3 feet. When you're down and away and it's up about the letters, but he got a swing and miss.
Alex Gordon, a comebacker to Shaw.
There's an easy inning for him.
And how about that? 24 hours after an awful performance here at Kansas City, he bounces back with a 1-2-3 8th inning. Of the game. Carlos Santana back in the 5th with a clutch 2-run single that kind of opened this game up a little bit for the Tribe. They would go on to score 3 times in that inning and make it a 6-0 lead. Kansas City has scored the last 3 runs of the ball game and will go to the 9th with the Indians still leading by a score of 6-3. Cody Allen up and ready in the Cleveland bullpen. Chen-Ming Wong came on in the 8th. Stay on to pitch here in the 9th. He got the last out of that 8th inning. Rajai Davis 0 for 3 with a walk. And a ground ball single into left field for Rajai Davis. And the Indians have their leadoff man aboard. Keys to the game brought to you by Mazda as we recap and look back at them. Bounce back early. That's exactly what they did. Knapp with the 2-run homer in the 1st.
They did what they had to do offensively.
And Danny was pretty efficient tonight. I don't know if the heat caught up to him a little bit there towards the end.
I'm thinking it might. It might have. It did with Kluber as far as cramping went last night when he went 7, and they were really about the same pace up until that 7th inning for Danny.
But he pitched really well. Now Jason Kipnis. And it's a ground ball right at the second baseman Merrifield. They get one there, back to first. Double play. Kipnis hustling down the line, tried to beat it out, and it was close. Bang, bang at first base. I thought maybe he beat it out initially, but the umpire made the out call, and we'll take another look here.
Spin move, and now we'll get a look.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yep. And so 2 down for Francisco Lindor. Lindor pops one back out of play. Up and in, almost got him. But he was able to get out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Watch how he raises that arm and just turns right with that pitch.
Low and away. 2 balls and a strike. There's a long drive, deep right field. Orlando looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Lindor home run number 12, and the Indians go up now 7-3.
Well, he left a changeup up for Frankie, and he took advantage of it. Boy, you'll see it was a nice quick swing. The pitch was elevated on the inner part of the plate and right down the line, so he has homered in back-to-back nights. Yesterday in the first, today in the ninth, and that gives him a 7-3 lead. And a nice swing right there. Boy, that was right there for him.
So Chien-Ming Wang giving up his 5th home run on the year. Indians lead it by 4. Napoli fouls one right back. The fact that it's no longer a save situation, I don't know that that changes the thinking of Terry Francona or not.
No.
I see Otero still up in the bullpen, but Cody's still firing away down there. Mike Napoli, 2-run homer in the first. That was a big jolt for this club to get him right back up and going here tonight. Now a 2-strike pitch. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cody and Dan both ready to go. Wang with a 1-2. And Napoli trying to bloop one in, but it's going to be caught to end the inning. The Indians get another run on the board thanks to another homer by Lindor, and it's 7-3 Tribe as we go to the bottom of the 9th. came out and popped them early, knocked their starter out in the third, put 3 on Dylan G, their middle reliever, and then added another run off Chin-Ming Wong in the 9th. And now Cody Allen, not a save situation, but nobody cares about that right now. It's all about
3 outs.
Finishing the game, getting the W. Bottom third of the order due up for here for Kansas City. It's Paulo Orlando, Whit Merrifield, and then Gerard Dyson. And again, this is a ball club that never feels like they're out of it. They've got the hardware to prove it. And 31,144, many of whom are still here in case the Royals pull out another remarkable finish. But Cody Allen's going to try to keep that from happening as he fires, and the first pitch is fouled back by Orlando.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking right there as a hitter. Let me get that first fastball and try and jump it and get on base just to get us rolling. Give us a base runner, but he fouled it off.
The 0-1 offering upstairs. You want to know why Kansas City has played so well at home this year. They've done all the things you would normally think of. They've taken advantage of the big crowds. They feel comfortable. All those normal things you talk about all play a factor in it. But maybe one of the biggest reasons why they're so successful at home this year, as Lindor spins and makes a fantastic play to retire Orlando for out number 1. Boy, another dynamic play from Francisco Lindor.
He had a little trouble getting that ball into his throwing hand, but he didn't panic, and he bounces it off the ground. You see it almost fell out of his hand. But boy, he made a nice play and a recovery. He really didn't panic. Watch, that ball comes out that extra half a step, and I think that's why he went to the ground with it on the one hopper. Beautiful
Kept it
play.
accurate.
Beautiful play. Threw it to an area.
Nice play by Lindor. How about the fact, though, Rick, that this year in this ballpark, the opposing bullpens against Kansas City have a collective earned run average of 6.89. So this year, when the Royals are at home and the other guy goes to the bullpen, the ERA is almost 7.
Yeah, that's a scary. That's why they score late.
And that's a big reason why they've had a lot of success at home. Likewise, or I should say conversely, when they're on the road, and they're 17-32 on the road this year, the opposing bullpen ERA when the Royals are on the road is 2.09. And the batting average is about 100 points difference. So
hard to figure that one out, boy.
Don't know why, but that obviously is a big reason. Cody Allen facing Whit Merrifield, who is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 7th inning. I want to take a minute to send out very special happy birthday wishes tonight to a guy that may be feeling a bit down. He's had just a tough year, and hopefully he's going to heal up fast and be back very soon. And that's Yan Gomes, celebrating his 29th birthday, if you can call it celebrating. He's sitting at home in a sling.
Well, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Jan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jan, and hope to see you back real soon. Here's the 1-2 now, on its way to Merrifield in the dirt. He's got to feel like that character in the Charlie Brown cartoon where the rain clouds fall on him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for him. I mean, the only thing it do is make you stronger. You can survive this year.
Yep. Cody with the 2-2. A liner to right, coming hard, Chisenhall. And by playing that more shallow depth, that's an easy play for Lonnie. 2 down. That'll bring up Gerard Dyson, who's 1 for 3 on the night. quick turnaround for both clubs, as we're right back here tomorrow for a day game to wrap up the series. 2 o'clock Eastern time start. It'll be all kind of smoking hot, that's for sure. Temperature will be in the upper 90s tomorrow afternoon. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the ball game. Cody Allen slams the door with a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Indians win it by a final score of 7-3 to even the series at a game apiece, and the Tribe restores their 6.5 game lead over Detroit in the American League Central